In magnetism, this topic is also having a greater weightage when you're finding a force on a current carrying conductor. Force on a current carrying conductor when it is placed in a magnetic field. Example, you have a wire and this wire is placed in a magnetic field. The magnetic poles, north and south poles are there. So there are two magnetic fields. What are the two magnetic fields? One is the magnetic field of a magnet, which is pointing from north to south, and the second magnetic field is the magnetic field of a current carrying conductor, because whenever the sorry, whenever there is a current carrying conductor, a current is passing through it, so it produces a magnetic field. If it is a straight wire, it will produce circular magnetic field. So there is a magnetic field of the wire as well. So how many magnetic fields are there? Two magnetic fields. And whenever there are two magnetic fields, the magnetic field will interact with each other and they try to exert force on each other. And when they exert force on each other, because whenever you have two magnets, either they will attract or repel depending on which poles are facing each other. So same thing happen that when you have a current carrying conductor, when you have a current carrying conductor, there is a magnetic field of a conductor, the wire, and there is a magnetic field of a magnet. So whenever two magnetic fields are there, there will be a force on the wire or there will be a force on the magnet. And how we can find this force? We can use Fleming's left hand rule. If we want to find the direction of the force experienced by the wire placed in a magnetic field, so we will use Fleming's left hand rule. According to this Fleming's left hand rule, the first finger or the index finger, this is a Fleming's left hand rule. The first finger or the index finger is representing a direction of magnetic field. So it will always point towards south. The second finger represents direction of the current. The second finger is representing the direction of the current. And where our thumb is pointing, that represents the force. I will show how this rule is used, but that is the main idea of the Fleming's left hand rule. It is used to find the direction of the force on a current carrying conductor. The first finger or the index finger represent the magnetic field. The second finger represent direction of the current, which direction the current is moving, and the thumb will point towards force. So example, say you place a current carrying conductor. This is a battery or a supply. The conventional current is always from positive to negative, so direction in which the conventional current will move. This is the direction in which the conventional current will move. Now you want to find the direction of force on the wire, the part of the wire which is placed in the magnetic field. On your left hand side you have north pole and the right hand side you have south pole. So how we can use this rule? We can use the Fleming's left hand rule for this. So what is the Fleming's left hand rule? According to this Fleming's left hand rule, the first finger represents the magnetic field. So the first finger should, this is the Fleming's left hand rule. First finger represent the magnetic field, should point towards south. Second represent direction of the current, and thumb will automatically shows the force. So if I apply a left hand rule in the figure which is given here, this figure 1, so my first finger should point towards south. So my first finger should point towards south or means towards right hand side. My second finger should point in the direction of the current. Current is going out. So you can see the current is going out. My second finger is pointing towards me or direction of the current. Where my thumb is pointing upward. That's why this wire will experience an upward force or it will move upward. Is it clear? This left hand rule. First finger, this is the left hand rule. First finger should point towards south or a magnetic field. Second represent direction of the current, and thumb will point towards force. So first finger is pointing towards south on the right hand side. Second is representing a direction of the current, and thumb is pointing up. That's why this wire will move upward. Is it clear, this example? I'll give more examples to find the direction of the force and how to apply a rule. Because the important thing is identifying the direction of the force and apply this rule. So your first finger should represent magnetic field south. The second finger will represent the direction of the current, and the thumb will automatically point towards the force. So example, we have north and south pole, and the current is going out. Now try to apply a Fleming's left hand rule on the screen. As you can see this example, I will also show. So when you try to apply this Fleming's left hand rule, this is first thing, all should be 90. The thumb, the index finger and the second finger all should be 90° to each other. Now first finger, the index finger should point towards south. So first finger is pointing towards south or towards the right hand side, which is south. The second represent direction of the current, where the current is going, which direction the current is going. So when my second finger point in the direction of current, where my thumb is pointing. So in this case, my thumb is pointing upward. So what is the direction of the force? The force will be upward. So this is the force, current and magnetic field. So first finger or index finger should point towards south, second represent direction of the current, and thumb is pointing upward. You should also apply the rule at the same time to understand this concept, because in exam you will find a question in which you have to determine the direction of the force, and you can only use this Fleming's left hand rule to find out the direction of the force. So a wire is carrying current and we want to find the direction of the force. So again, if we want to find the direction of the force, we'll use the Fleming's left hand rule. According to this Fleming's left hand rule, first finger should point towards south, so my first finger should point right hand side. Second, because in this case the current is going into, so my first finger is pointing towards south, my second finger is pointing into the screen towards the current. Where my thumb is pointing now, as I apply the left hand rule, first finger is towards south, second is towards the current, and thumb is pointing towards force. So which direction the thumb is pointing now? So thumb is pointing downwards. So as the thumb is pointing downward, what will be the direction of the force in this example? That is downward. So this wire will experience a downward force. First finger should point towards south. The index finger is pointing towards south. So my index finger is towards the right hand side, pointing towards right hand side. My second finger should point toward direction of the current. Current is going towards the screen, so into the screen. So my second finger should point into the screen or towards the screen. So first finger is towards south, second is pointing towards the screen or towards the current. Where my thumb is pointing, that is the force. So my thumb is pointing down. So in this case, it will experience a downward force. South, current, downward force. Is it clear? So when we apply this rule, what makes the force, why there is a force, as you can see the explanation, why there is a force, because there are two magnetic fields. One is, there is, when the current is passing through a wire, that is having a magnetic field, and it is placed in a magnetic field of a magnet. So there are two magnetic fields, one is due to the wire and another one is due to the magnet. So whenever two magnetic fields are there, they will exert force on each other. That is why the wire will experience a force. And to find this force, we will use Fleming's left hand rule. Like same thing, when you apply a Fleming's left hand rule for this example, the first finger should point towards south. So in this example, south is towards right. The second finger point outward. As you can see, the current is going out. Where my thumb is pointing, automatically thumb is pointing up. So that's why the direction of the force is upward. Is it clear, this Fleming's left hand rule? To find the direction of the force on a wire placed in a magnetic field. Now, the question, what will be the direction of the force? Example, when you close this switch, the current start to move, the conventional current. Can you work out the direction of the force? The direction of the current is, this is showing the arrow is representing a direction of the current. And south pole is up, south pole is up, north pole is down. What will be the direction of the force? Yeah, that's right. It will be towards the right hand side. So how you'll apply, again the same thing. My first finger, index, the left hand, first thing left hand, my index finger should point to in the direction of the south. My second finger represent direction of current. Current is into, south is pointing up. Where my thumb is pointing towards right. So when this wire will is placed in a magnetic field, it will move towards right hand side. And why the wire move? Because there is a magnetic field of a magnet and the magnetic field of a wire that interact with each other. North and south, and the current is cross. Cross means into. The meaning of a cross means current is in and dot means out. What will be the direction of the force? Can you work out? What will be the direction of the force? Yeah, the direction of the force will be downward. Why the direction of force? First finger point towards south, Cross means my current is into, so second finger pointing into where the thumb is pointing, that is the force. So thumb is pointing downward, the force will be downward. South and north, and it is cross as well. What will be the direction of the force now? So first finger point towards south, my first finger, index finger pointing towards south, my second finger is pointing into, and the thumb is pointing up. So basically, if I change the direction of one of them, either if I change the direction of magnetic field or the direction of the current, the direction of the force will be opposite. So in this example, the force will be upward. North and south, and dot. Dot means the current is out. What will be the direction of the force? Yeah, first finger, when you apply the rule, the first finger point towards south, second dot means out. So my second finger is pointing out, and where my thumb is pointing, that is a force experienced by this wire. So in this example, the force will be upward. But if I change the magnetic poles and keep the direction of the current same, now what will be the direction when you apply the rule? First finger should point towards south, second represent direction of the current which is out. Where the thumb will point? So when you apply a rule, your first finger should point towards south. This is my first finger should point towards south. Second finger should point outwards, means going out of the paper. So first finger is pointing towards south. Second is representing a direction of the current which is outward. Where my thumb is pointing down. So in this example, it will experience a downward force. So direction of the force changes as we change the magnetic field. So if we change magnetic field, direction of force changes. If we change the current, direction of the force changes. But if we change both of them, then the direction of the force remain unchanged. Like here, when you compare figure 1 with figure 2. So in figure 1 and figure 2, we change the magnetic field, that's why the force is opposite. When we compare figure 1 with figure 3, in figure 1 and 3 we change the current, that's why the force is opposite. But when we change both of them, comparing figure 1 with figure 4, we change the magnetic field and we change the direction of the current, so the direction of the force will not change. Is it clear? The concept of the force on wire placed in a magnetic field, and then why the wire experience a force when it is placed in a magnetic field. To find this force, we will use a Fleming's left-hand rule. The device which is based on this concept that whenever the current is passing through a wire, the wire will experience a force. So we can design a motor, which is also known as a DC motor. It converts the electrical energy to kinetic energy. Basically what happened, first example, this is a DC motor. You have to learn the labels as well for DC motor. What are the labels for the DC motor? The rings, you can see these two parts, like this is one ring, but if I break this ring into two halves, so when I break the ring into two halves, what it will become? It will become split ring. So these are the split rings. So you have to learn these are the split rings. Split ring commutators X and Y. A permanent magnet is there. A rectangular coil is there. These are the carbon brushes. And this is a rectangular coil ABCD. Now what happened when we pass the current, when we are passing a current through the wire will produce, the current will produce a magnetic field, and this magnetic field interact with the magnetic field of a permanent magnet and experience the force. How we will find which direction it will experience the force? So example, this is a first position, first picture. On the left hand side we have split ring X, and on the right hand side we have split ring Y. Now when we show the direction of the conventional current is from positive to negative. So when I draw the arrows to show the direction of the current, it will pass through the carbon brushes. Carbon brushes provide a contact. Then it will flow through this rectangular coil. Then return back to the negative terminal. Now what happened? You have four sides for this rectangular coil. You have side AB, BC, CD, and DA. But for side BC, the side BC and side DA will not experience any force. Why it will not experience any force? Because when the wire is parallel to the magnetic field or opposite, anti-parallel to the magnetic field, it means it will not experience any force because the wire is not cutting the magnetic field of a permanent magnet. It should cut the magnetic field. If it is making certain angle, then only it will experience the force. Otherwise, it will not experience any force. So side CB and side DA will not experience any force. So there is no force on these two sides. But what about side AB? How to find the direction of the force on side AB? Again, we will use the Fleming's left-hand rule. So according to this Fleming's left-hand rule, the first finger should point towards south. So for side AB, my first finger is pointing towards south, that is toward the right hand side. My second finger should point in the direction of the current. So you can see the current, which direction the current is pointing, it is towards the screen. For side AB, the current is towards the screen into. So first finger is pointing towards south, the second is representing a current. Where my thumb is pointing when I use the rule, my thumb is pointing downwards. So what does it mean? It means side AB will experience a downward force. And what about side C and D? When I apply the same rule on side C and D, first finger is pointing towards south, second representing the direction of the current for CD is coming out, and thumb is pointing up. So which direction it will experience the force? It will experience the upward force. So example, if this is a rectangular coil, one side it is experiencing, one end it is experiencing a downward force and the other side it is experiencing an upward force. So what will happen when a force is applied? One side it is downward and another side it is upward, so this coil will rotate or flip. On the right hand side there's a downward force, on the left hand side there's a upward force. So downward and upward force, what it create a turning effect or a moment. So the coil which was positioned like this, now it will flip. Is it clear, this part? The first part of the DC motor, that why the coil rotate or the flip. Is it clear to everyone, or you want me to repeat again? So basically what happened in this one, this is the DC motor. What is a DC motor? You have a rectangular coil which is placed in a magnetic field having commutators, split ring commutator and carbon brushes. The purpose of the carbon brush is like a connection between the external circuit and the split rings. The carbon brushes remain fixed, the split ring rotated with the coil. So first what happened, you have a positive terminal, the current start to flow. When there is a current, there is a magnetic field. So the wire will produce a magnetic field due to the current. So there are two magnetic fields, one is due to the magnet, one of the magnetic field is due to the magnet and another is due to the wire. So when these two magnetic fields interact with each other, the wire will experience a force. How to find the force experienced by the wire? You have to use a Fleming's left hand rule. The first finger point towards south, second represent direction of the current, and thumb is pointing downward. So if this is a rectangular coil, for side AB there is a downward force. And same thing, first finger for side C and D, first finger point towards south, second represent direction of the current, thumb is pointing up. So one side there's a downward force, another side there's an upward force. So what will happen? The coil will flip or the coil will rotate. Is it clear? The finger is pointing towards the direction of the current. If current is in, the finger should point in. If current is out, the finger should point outward. So now what happened? The split rings, as you can see, this was split ring X on the left hand side and split ring Y was on the right hand side. But as it start to rotate, the next picture you will see as it rotated, the second picture. So now there is no contact. This one is X, X is up and Y is down as the coil rotated. So now you can see there is no contact between the split ring and the carbon brushes. They loses the contact because like this is split ring initially, the previous picture, this was split ring X and the split ring Y. Split ring Y I am representing by gray shade, and that was in contact with the carbon brushes. So these were the carbon brushes, split ring was in contact. X and Y. This is the first picture. But what happened as it rotate? The second picture, as it rotate, so position of X and Y changed. So this will be position of X and position of Y. Now you can see they are not in contact with the circuit. So as they are not contact with the external circuit, there is no current, so the wire will not experience any force. Because there is no current, there is no magnetic field of a wire. If wire magnetic field is not there, it will not experience any force. But this will not stop, it will continue to move because of its inertia. Like example, you switch off the fan is already on, and when you switch off the fan, instantly the fan will not stop moving. It will continue to move, and gradually it will slow down and it will stop. So same thing happened. First, when the split ring were in contact, they experienced the force, the coil experienced the force, it rotated. But once the split ring loses the contact, the wire will not experience any force, but the wire will not stop. Why it will not stop? It will continue to move because of its inertia, even though there is no force on the wire when the split ring loses a contact with the carbon brushes. And again, the third position, as the wire are continue to rotate, now you can see the side flips. Now side X is on the right hand side and side Y is on the left hand side, and C and D is on the right hand side and AB is on the left hand side. In the beginning, AB was on the right, as you can see in the start, AB was on the right and CD is on the left. But as it is rotating, now it rotated, so CD is on the right and AB is towards the left. Now when we find the direction of the current, the conventional current, so direction of the current is from C to D to C. So direction of the current is also changed. First, when you check the first picture, the current was moving from C to D, like it was making a loop like this. But as the position of C and D changes, so respective relative current for C and D is changed as well. Now what is the force experienced by AB? So first finger represent the magnetic field, second represent direction of the current, and thumb is pointing up. So AB will experience a force upward. And what about CD? When you apply CD, first finger represents south, second represents direction of the current, thumb is pointing down, so CD will experience a downward force. So basically what happened, now first it experienced force, so it rotated. When it is vertical, it will not experience force, but it will continue to rotate. When it will come down again horizontal, it will experience the force and rotate again. So basically, a DC motor, like you're using a fan, you're using a juicer, mixer, all these are DC motors. When you switch on the fan start to rotate. Why it start to rotate? Because when there's a current, that produces a magnetic field and that interact with a permanent magnet, which cause a rotation in the fan. Same thing happened for juicers, mixers, that when you switch on, it start to rotate because there is a coil which carry the current and there is a permanent magnetic field which interact with each other. Is it clear the working of a DC motor? So I'll repeat what happened. Like in the beginning, we have a coil horizontally. When we have a coil horizontally, we are passing a current. So commutator, split ring commutator, X is on the left hand side and Y is on the right hand side. But as it rotates, when it is vertical, the split ring loses the contact with the carbon brushes. So there is no current now. If there is no current, there is no magnetic field. But still it will continue to rotate because of its inertia. And once it loses its, come back again in contact, again horizontal, and the side changes. Now the split ring X is on the right hand side and split ring Y is on the left hand side. So again, it will experience the force and the coil will rotate. This is one cycle. And what is the purpose of the split ring? They reverses the direction of the current, and this ensures the coil will rotate in a fixed direction. So it will keep on rotating. That is what happened in a fan as well. You can see the split ring reverses the direction. How they reverse the direction in the coil? First X is on the left and Y is on the right. Current was moving from B to A, from A to B, then B to C and C to D. But as the coil split ring changes the direction, it flips. And when we show the direction of the current for the coil, now the current is moving from D to C, then C to B, and then B to A. So the relative direction of the current changes for the section of the coil. That's the main purpose of the split ring, that it reverses the direction of the current so that it will continue to rotate in a fixed direction or one way. So it will continue to rotate until you switch off. That is what happened. Like example, when you switch on the fan, it is continuously rotating. Once you switch off, it is not rotating. Even slowly it will slow down and eventually it will stop, because when you switch off, there is no current or there is no interaction of the magnetic fields. That is why the fan will slow down and it will stop. If we want to increase the speed of the rotation, we should increase the current. We should increase the number of turns of coil, like use more coils, or we should increase a stronger magnet, use a stronger magnet, or increase the area of the coil. So these are the factors which affect the force or speed of the rotation of a DC motor. That is what happened when you are using a regulator to change the speed. So basically what you are doing, you are changing the current. If you reduce the current, the speed of the fan will slow down. If you increase the current, the speed of the fan will increase. Why it keep rotating? Because it is experiencing a force. The upward force from side AB and downward force from side CD, that cause a rotation. And same thing when you check the first picture, side AB was experiencing a downward force and CD is causing an upward force to cause a rotation, a turning effect. Because there is a force and two forces are in opposite direction, so it creates a moment or a turning effect. Is it clear, the question related to DC motor? The explanation related to DC motor. Next session, I'll discuss the questions related to this topic.